Okay, Fight Lens are back at the home of Carl Froch. The Cobra is a bit under the weather, but thanks for coming to chat to us once again, Carl. How's it going? How have you been since we last spoke?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I very rarely get ill, but I've had a bit of a chest cold, should I say? I wouldn't say a chest infection, but yeah, I've had a bit of a troublesome. My breathing apparatus is a bit strict, but yeah, I don't go to doctors. I just do all the natural remedies. I've tried every natural remedy out there. I phoned my mate who's Indian, who's got a pharmacy. He said turmeric, bit of honey, bit of black pepper, so I've had that down here. Then another one said chop up some onion and garlic, a raw garlic clove, chop that, mate, don't try it, blend it in some water. Yeah. That's powerful.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm about 10 days into it, but I've not stopped training.
Oh, I saw,
I've kept doing what I'm doing. I've just whooped you on the pull-ups, double.
Yeah.
You did 10, I did 20, just saying.
The front door topless, ripped, still
so
in good shape.
It actually probably hinders me a little bit, because you're better off resting when you're a bit ill. Just let your immune system sort of strengthen up.
Yeah.
But I can't stop, I just keep going, so yeah. I can't complain, but I've had a bit of a moan about it, because I've not been able to sleep with this chest, but yeah, I'm all right, mate.
Good.
Over the worst of it.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Well, someone else who's been a bit under the weather. This is a good little continuation. Kate Middleton. She's been missing from the public view. Been a bit of conspiracy theories as to what's been up with her. Had the Photoshop incident. The photo she put out for Mother's Day. Allegedly been doctored. What's your thoughts on what she's been up to? Why has she been hiding from the view of the public?
Why are you coming to me with conspiracy theories?
Well, I just think I've been reading some.
You know what I've seen a little bit on X the other day, the old Twitter, and what did I see? Photoshopped picture, something that was doctored. I thought that was quite interesting. Yeah. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But yeah, it's strange that Kate Middleton has kind of vanished and nobody's seen her for however long it is. What is it, 2 or 3 weeks?
I think it's been longer than that.
Oh, is it longer?
Yeah, I think it's been almost 3 months.
Oh, 3 months, right. It is very strange. I've not looked into it too much. Couldn't really care less.
Do you care about the royal family in general?
Well, I've got nothing against them, to be honest. I think they do a lot for the country. They bring a lot of tourism in, but they always make a few quid as well. The only problem I've got with the royal family is Prince Andrew. Right. I think he should have had his due process with his visits to the Epstein's Island, and I just don't think it's fair. If you're accused of doing something wrong, you should have your day in court. You should go through the due process that everyone has to go through, but he kind of bought his way out of it. But everyone knows what he is and what he's done, and I think he's got no more royal duties. Yeah. So I think that's right. So it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. So you think she's just been...
Oh yeah, but Kate Middleton, I ain't got a clue what's going on. Maybe she's had some operation that they're talking about and she wants privacy. And apparently when you're part of the royal family, you're not allowed any privacy. So people want to know what's going on. And because they don't 100% know, it raises all sorts of eyebrows, doesn't it, and conspiracies. But to be honest, I haven't really looked at it that much. I couldn't really care less. I just stay in my lane these days, as much as I can, as much as I have to. In terms of Kate Middleton, I ain't got a clue.
She's to be okay,
I think she's good, isn't she? I think there's a couple of pictures. Has there been a picture released of her?
Well, they say that, but then there's people saying that's actually an old picture that's been repurposed for, well, she was in a farm shop.
A bit like Tyson Fury's cut, isn't it? Was he cut, was he not cut? Right, Let me see the stitches.
That's it. And then the photo of him ripped, is that an old photo? Is it new? Who knows?
Did we go to the moon?
Is the earth flat?
Now don't say that, because then it won't get shown. Don't even go there.
Remember, no censorship on Sport Lens, Fight Lens, we keep everything in, so it's all good. Switching tack slightly.
Excuse me, mate, it's got a bad chest.
No problem. Quick drink. I assume that you probably were an early adopter of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as someone who thinks outside the box and likes to see where the future of the world is going. As we've seen, the price of Bitcoin's rocketed recently. Yeah. Did you see the story about the guy who had 2 identical laptops? One had 8,000 Bitcoins on, one had no Bitcoins on. He threw out the wrong one, and now it's in a landfill in Newport. And the council are refusing to let him search the landfill. It's worth £450 million now. He's got all these investors making robot dogs, things like that, so you can search the landfill.
That happened a few years ago where somebody got rid of a memory stick. And they were searching through the landfill for years.
Yeah, because the news story comes back around every time.
All I can say is how stupid have you got to be to have Bitcoin. I mean, I've got a few Bitcoin. I've got quite a diverse portfolio, but I've got mine loaded onto a stick that's also backed up onto a separate hard drive, and that stick's in my office in a safe drawer.
Should be in a safe.
No, I'm not really. It's in my house, so I'm fine. If they don't come round here, they're getting double barrel shotgun. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I just think to chuck a laptop away. Is it a story? Is it publicity for Bitcoin? I don't know what's going on. But I don't know anybody who's made a load of money off Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up from, it started off at 3,000. Started off at 30 cents years ago. It was 3,000 in 2014. The reason I know that is because someone told me to put 100 grand into it and I didn't take their advice. And then it bumped up to like 30,000. Last time I looked it was 50, then it was back down to 15. So I think to win in Bitcoin or crypto, you've got to trade. You've got to be buying and selling. But obviously buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
If we could do that, and it would make it sound easy, we'd all be billionaires. But to just have an amount of money in Bitcoin and to let it run its course and to leave it, you're gonna probably end up with what you started with or nothing. So you have to be trading. So I stuck something silly like 10 grand in years ago, and it's probably on 20 grand now. I think it was 10, 15 when I bought it. It's up to about 30, 35.
It could be more than that if you check it now.
I don't think it is. What's it at now? 35, 40?
No, it's up to 70 now, isn't it?
Is it boomed up to 70?
Yeah. So each Bitcoin is worth 70,000.
Yeah.
So depends how much you bought, but yeah, you might want to.
Yeah, it might have trebled, but to be honest, it's not going to change your life. And it's too late now to get into Bitcoin, I think.
There's other coins out there, aren't there, though?
Loads of stuff. XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin,
that's
all the bits. There's loads of crap ones.
Have you got any inside info on the next one?
No, mate. If I had any inside info, I wouldn't give you any because you'd end up losing money. Okay. That's what happens. People give you a little tip, and a lot of time it's a pump and dump scam.
Yes, that is true.
I mean, there's people, idiots, that think they're going to make millions of pounds on crypto. And then they complain when they lose 2, 3, 4, 10 grand.
Yeah.
Complain like bitches, when really they've not done their due diligence, they've not done the research, they don't know what they're doing, they just think they're going to get rich quick. And there's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. Bitcoin's taking off until the government decide to bring in CBDCs, which is central bank digital currency, and then all the cryptos are going to be fucked, and the government's going to take control, and we're all going to be walking around like robots and androids.
So what should we do in that case? Should we be keeping cash? But cash is going to be worthless eventually as well. So
just grow your own food. Live an indigenous life.
Live off the grid.
Grow your own food like I do.
That's right.
Don't eat the poison that's put in the supermarket.
What about your license fee?
All the processed foods. You can't even eat bread anymore. It's ultra processed bread is. So now I'm baking my own bread. It's got 3 or 4 ingredients in it instead of 50.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Okay. Well, another advocate of free speech, who we've spoken about before, Joey Barton, is now being sued by Jeremy Vine for calling him a bike nonce, whereas Jeremy Vine initially tried to claim that Joey Barton's suffered a head injury, which is why he's coming out with his relatively outrageous or outlandish statements. Whose side are you on in this, and do you think bike nonce is a term that needs to be, clamped down on?
I didn't know much about the Jeremy Vine stuff. Was he the guy that was on Channel 4 doing his little chat show?
Yeah, and he rides around London with a camera on his head, and every time a bus overtakes him, he has a little whinge about it, stuff like that.
So Joe Barton's what? Called him a bike nonce?
Called him a bike nonce, and now he's being sued, and now Joe Barton started a GoFundMe to raise funds to fight this litigation that's happening against him.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm going on Joe Barton's podcast next week, I think.
Okay, yeah. Well, he's being sued from a few different angles. We've got Eni Aluko, the former women's footballer turned pundit, who's having a back and forth with him as well. Yeah. So he's a bit under the pump.
Putting himself under pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. But
is he not allowed to have an opinion?
I think to an extent you are, of course, aren't you? But then if you call someone a bike nonce, is that taking it a bit too far? Because obviously nonce is quite a strong word.
You better take my quote out about Prince Andrew then. We'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, it's all coming a bit on top for him. But hopefully,
he'll be fine. He's literally he's making his opinion, he's getting his voice out there.
Yeah.
And I believe in free speech to a point. Obviously, if you're going to offend someone or defame somebody, then obviously you've got to be careful.
That's right.
I've not heard what he said, to be honest. I don't know much about Jeremy Vine.
Well, I think Jeremy Vine sort of started it. He chimed in first of all. I don't think Barton had attacked him verbally at all until that point. So he was just responding to allegations against him, which anyone's entitled to do, aren't they?
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We had the darts here last week. It was in Nottingham, wasn't it?
I was there, yeah.
The darts, you were there?
Yeah, Barry Hearn was kind enough to sort me out with 2 tickets. Me and my young boy Rocco went down. Luke Littler's mum came over to me and said, can I get a picture?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, who are you? I said, I've seen you, because I think I've seen her on previous broadcasts.
Okay.
She goes, I'm Luke Littler's mum. I went, oh, brilliant. Go and tell him the Cobra wants to meet him. He probably don't even know who I am. I think he was 6 years old when I boxed at Wembley Stadium in front of all them people. So if he was 6, realistically, he might know who I am, but he's not going to know who I am unless someone's told him.
True.
But I went to see him.
Sky Sports Gold, something like that.
No, exactly. Yeah, you'll have a look at that. But I went to see him. He came out of his changing rooms, had a little chat, did a couple of pictures. I'm going to load that up to my Instagram page, actually. I've not done it yet. But no, he's a nice kid. Very young. I mean, he was stood there, 17 years old, next to my son, who's nearly 14.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at him thinking, he's out there playing in front of, 7,000 at Nottingham, and just taking it in his stride and just like living his best life. And my son's 14 nearly, not quite 14. It's 3 years gap between them.
Mad, isn't it?
I know Luke Litter looks a bit older because he's a bit more developed. He's even got a beard, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a grey beard. I know he's got a beard.
It's kind of a bit gingery, yeah.
I don't think it's great. But he doesn't look like a 17-year-old. And when you compare him to my 14-year-old boy, you just think, wow.
Yeah.
But he's just smashing it. He's amazing. I think he's fantastic.
He's 1 dart away from a 9 darter, wasn't he?
I was there, I recorded it. I've got that on video, yeah.
Amazing, yeah. Great stuff, great performance.
Unbelievable.
Do you watch the Gladiators? I presume if you've got a 13-year-old son, Rocco,
yes,
you must be into it.
The new Gladiators.
The new version,
yeah. There's been a few injuries, hasn't there?
Yeah, pretty brutal. I was going to say, if they did a celebrity version,
I'd be
would you
up for it.
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. I want to get on that pugil stick.
Yeah.
Smash that big lump in.
Yeah.
The big poser that my missus fancies. Don't know his name, but he's got blonde hair, pulls a pout.
He's got the Arsenal tattoo on his shoulder.
I don't know which one it is.
I'm not sure.
He pulls a pout and he looks round, dead cheeky.
Yeah.
And Rachel's like, oh, I like him. I went, oh, do you like him?
Yeah.
I don't care if you like him. Just keep it to yourself.
Pugil stick.
And then the women come out and I'm like, oh yes, look at them.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. It's good fun. The kids absolutely love it.
I love it.
I think it's a bit soft, if I'm honest.
You remember the original version?
Yeah, much more rough.
Yeah, it was better, wasn't it?
Better. I think so.
Who was your favourite gladiator from back then?
I like the one with Aggro, the Wolfman.
Wolfman, Jet. Everyone loved Jet, didn't they?
It was the other guy, Shadow. He was hard work. He was like quite mean. But no, Wolfman was Aggro because he had the character.
That's right. Yeah.
But no, Jet was outrageous. Brunette. She's right on my street, Jet.
Absolutely, everyone in
Rachel won't watch this anyway. You have to remind me of Jet for. I'm going to be Googling later, have a look at the old Jet.
She's still out there, yeah.
I'll get her on my screensaver, so next time Rachel's giving that geezer on whatever his name is.
It's your comeback.
Do you know who that is, the guy with the blonde hair and the pout?
The new one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Legend, is it?
Well, it might be.
One's called Legend, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. I like Bradley Walsh though. I like him. I always watch The Chase, and I've been on there. I'm a big fan of Bradley Walsh, and him and his son are on there doing the presenting.
That's right, it's the son.
So now I'm enjoying it. I just think it's a little bit too health and safety conscious, and there's too much time between each event. I just want to see him get on with the event.
On the old one, there was definitely more variation in the events, I feel.
Yeah.
Now it's just like the wall and the pugil sticks.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, you know the pugil stick one? I want to write to is it ITV or Channel 4 now?
It's BBC. It's
BBC.
Now. It was ITV back then.
I want to write to them and tell them, don't stand on the platform, because that makes you feel like you're going to fall and it makes you feel uneasy.
Yeah.
Get them both on a big platform, so they've got a bit of room, and then they can have it out.
Yeah,
and they can move around.
Use your feet.
Yeah, and if you get dropped, you're out, or if you get pushed off the edge, you're out. And probably not pushed, because that would be unfair, because the big gladiators would be able to just lean on the... But make it quite... not massive.
It doesn't look very stable.
But have it so they can step into each other, because as soon as they try and step forward, they overreach, and then they fall off balance, and it kills it off.
Yeah.
Well, if they was on a bigger platform, they could have a right good scrap, good tear up. Because I was thinking, if I was on there, I'd be ducking, weaving, moving to the side. Yeah. Because if there's a celebrity one, I'd get some little uppercuts going, some right-handers.
That's
it. But on that,
no one ever jabs with it like that either.
That's true. Yeah, you probably don't like to poke them in the face with it. You might not be allowed to. You might be. But no, they need a bigger platform that could both on. Yeah. And there's no way to fall in. There's no gap between them.
Yeah.
I think that'd be better.
Okay.
They should try it out.
There you go. We'll send this off to BBC. See if
I'm going to send them an email, so don't worry to see this to see it. But they'll be getting the email off the Cobra soon.
Oh, there we go. Moving on. Have you been following the hardest geezer, Russ Cook, the man who's running across Africa? He's running the length of Africa.
Oh really?
Yeah. Incredible achievement. He's pretty skinny now. It's basically 36 marathons.
He's running that far, right? Okay.
15,000 kilometers, but he's nearing the end now. He's 20 days away from finishing. He's in the Sahara Desert now.
It's unbelievable how people can run that far for that long. Fair play to him. What's he doing it for?
He's just doing it to raise money for charity, but he's doing his own YouTube as well. So you should follow it.
I've not seen that. I'll have a look.
Yeah, what's his name? Russ Cook, the hardest geezer. Yeah, he's from Worthing down on the south coast.
Right, okay.
But he's pretty mental, and he's going to be finishing it soon. But that's got to go down as one of the maddest achievements ever. If he does it, no one's ever done it before.
That is mad. There's a guy called Ross Edgley who I follow quite closely because I'm friends with him and his friend Ant Middleton. So I don't know if you're familiar with Ross Edgley.
He's
check
him
like
out.
A proper unit. Okay. He swam around the whole of England. And he was in the salt water and his tongue was like swelled up and dried and cracked. His eyes were all sore. He don't stop swimming. He just keeps going.
That is brutal.
It's unbelievable. You want to see some Ross Edgley stuff.
Okay, yeah.
He is a machine. So the guy who's running across Africa, trust me, he's got it easy.
Yeah.
Not downplaying it. Have a look at what Ross Edgley does.
Running through the desert, you've got like sandstorms blowing like sand in your face up your
nose. He's got goggles on there.
Yeah, he's got goggles on, that's true. Still gets in your lungs though.
No, just breathe in slightly. No, it's good what he's doing, but them marathon runners, they're unbelievable. They can just keep going. Yeah, they're very slim, aren't they?
Ultra marathons.
Like Mo Farah just keeps going, don't stop. And his pace, it's interesting. My fastest pace for a mile was 6 minutes and about 2 or 3 seconds. I did 3 miles in I think it was 19 minutes, 10 seconds. So that averages out to about 6:20, 6.5, whatever it is.
Very good.
They run 4 minutes 30 to 4 minutes 45 miles for 26 miles.
Mental.
The only way you can do that is if you weigh nothing.
Yeah.
You've got lungs like that.
That's
so
it.
they are machines, but sport-specific machines.
Yeah.
Get them in the boxing ring, they'd be...
Yeah, smoke them out.
Over.
All right, speaking of boxing, we should probably talk about a bit of boxing. Not last weekend, weekend before, Anthony Joshua, absolute demolition job on Francis Ngannou. You've spoken about it a bit. Yeah. What I want to ask you about is his speech after winning, or the fact that he didn't celebrate. Do you think he was just expecting to do that, what he did, just knock him out so brutally?
I thought he was classy in the way which he won. I thought he spoke really well. He mentioned Rob McCracken. He thanked all his previous trainers, which was nice. I thought he'd done himself proud. In terms of the performance, it was a very good performance because he stood the centre of the ring. He was authoritative with his jab. He stepped in with his punches. It was an awful performance from Ngannou. He said he fell asleep in the changing rooms before. I don't know what was going off or what was wrong with him. Don't want to downplay AJ's performance, but to put it into perspective, he's fighting a guy who's making his second fight as a professional boxer. So you would expect a former two-time world champion to do that to someone who's making his second fight as a professional boxer. I know he's a cage fighter and he's probably one of the hardest men, if not the hardest man on the planet, because he's the UFC world heavyweight champion or lineal heavyweight champion. So you'd expect Anthony Joshua to do that to him, but because Tyson Fury struggled so badly, maybe because he didn't take it seriously, you have to give AJ credit. You can't just piss on the parade because he's wiped him out and he's only had 2 fights. And Ngannou gave Tyson Fury a good fight. AJ went in there knowing that he'd give Tyson Fury a good fight, so he had to get in there, believe in himself. He had to throw his punches with conviction, and he had to follow through with his shots and turn the punch through, which he started doing now. I just think you've got to give all credit to Anthony Joshua, but you have to put it into perspective. He's beaten a guy who's nearly 40, who's made his second fight as a professional. So his professional record now, 2 fights, 2 losses, 1 by way of knockout. That's Ngannou. So I don't think AJ, I think he realised as soon as he knocked him over, bloody hell, that was easy. It's like making your pro debut. And you stop the guy, or you're 3-4 fights into it, and you see these some guys really celebrate, lose the plot, jump on the top rope and celebrate like lunatics. And you think, you've not won a world title, mate, you just knocked over a journeyman bum. I'm not calling Ngannou a journeyman bum, but if you put it into perspective of where he is with his professional career, he's only just come off the back of his debut, and he's fighting a 2-time heavyweight champ, former 2-time heavyweight champ. The best guy in the division at the minute for me is Alexander Usyk. We're going to find out when he fights a better version of Tyson Fury. And I think it will be a good version of Tyson Fury, because Fury's pissed off by the way he performed against Ngannou. Still got the win, albeit disputed. I think Fury will lose a bit of weight, he'll be sharp, he'll be back to his old self. But he will never be back to where he was because he's getting too old.
He's been talking up Usyk, hasn't he, after downplaying him before, calling him a cruiserweight, and which he was. But now he's saying, he's the bad man, he's the best out there. Do you think that's him being a bit contradictory, or just being a bit annoyed that Anthony Joshua has taken some of the shine away from that fight with his performance?
I think if he tries to give Usyk too much stick and tries to downplay his achievements and tries to sort of write him off as not being a heavyweight and not being a very good boxer, he's going to make himself look stupid. It's going to look ridiculous. This guy's lost 10 amateur fights out of nearly 300 amateur fights. And of them 10 that he lost, he's avenged 7 of them, 6 or 7. So he's virtually unbeaten as an amateur, which is unheard of. It's ridiculous. Gennady Golovkin had a similar career. He was also very good from Kazakhstan. I know Usyk's Ukrainian, but he's just an unbelievable talent. He's a phenomenal talent. So to then step up to a professional ring and become the undisputed unified cruiserweight champ, and then step into the heavyweight division and become heavyweight. He beat AJ in his 3rd or 4th fight as a heavyweight. He's cleaned up. So if Tyson Fury wants to say he's rubbish, he's this, he's that, he's a pumped up middleweight, he's not very good, he's just making himself look like an idiot, isn't he? So he's got to give him some credit. And deep down I think he knows he's in trouble. So he's got to give some respect where respect's due. But part of his game usually is to downplay his opponent, write him off, get inside his head, upset him in the ring. He did it to Klitschko through the whole fight from round 1 to round 12. Just carried on with his jibes and his nonchalance and his little feints and his holding and shaking his head between rounds, and it got him the win. he won't get away with that with Usyk. I think he's banging trouble. He's going to be in a really hard fight, and I'd be surprised if Tyson Fury beats Usyk. But if Tyson Fury turns up in the best possible shape he can be, because this could be the last time we see him, he's in for a real good chance because he's bigger, he's heavier, he should be stronger than Usyk. He'll be able to lean in on him a bit, and if he keeps him at range because he's got a bit of his old former self back, he's a bit lighter on his feet and he's a bit more rangy, and he throws combination punches and ties Usyk up close, he's got a very good chance of winning the fight.
You see it going the distance because Usyk kind of inferred that he had the chance to knock out Anthony Joshua, but didn't want to. He didn't want to see, you know, him sprawled on the canvas. He said it doesn't need to happen. So do you think this is going to go all the way to the judges?
I don't buy into Usyk not wanting to stop AJ. You do get the feeling that he could have done it in around 10 or 11. And if he could have, when he wanted to step on it, Usyk, I feel like he can, and he can make you miss, get off to the side, and hit you with 3, 4, 5 shots.
Yeah.
A bit like Vasily Lomachenko, he's got that kind of awkwardness and them angles. So you do wonder what he's doing sometimes, and he's a very strange kind of warrior, isn't he? He's a real deep thinker, very methodical as well. So I wouldn't want to question anything Usyk says. If he says he can stop somebody, I wouldn't say no, he can't. Yeah. But I don't think he'll stop Tyson Fury. I can't see Tyson Fury going out. When he's in trouble, he'll tie him up. Yeah. I don't think he'll get knocked out by 1 punch because Usyk's coming up from cruiserweight. That's right. So I think it's going to be a points decision, and I think it's going to be close.
It's going to be an interesting fight, no doubt. Tyson Fury, he disagrees with you with regards to the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson bout. I mean, I've seen you've had some strong words about that. Who disagrees with me? Tyson Fury. His quote is, "I think it's fantastic for boxing. You've got a legend and you've got a YouTube boxer who's come into the game and blew it up. Who am I to say Mike Tyson or Jake Paul shouldn't be boxing? Good luck to them. They're both going to make a shit ton of money," which is true. They are going to make a shit ton of money. But is it good for boxing? No. It can't be, can it?
No, it's not good for boxing. It's for Tyson Fury to say that it's good for boxing, he needs to look in the mirror, have a look at what he's done, have a look at what professional fighters do and what they go through, and then think to himself, this is Jake Paul, a performing clown, jumping in there with a 58-year-old man who is a legend and an icon in professional boxing. By beating Tyson Fury, he proves absolutely nothing. He just proves he's more of a prick than I previously thought he was. He's an absolute fucking idiot for fighting Mike Tyson. It's wrong. It should be stopped. I don't think the fight should be happening. He's 26, 27 years old. Yeah. He's in the gym a lot, so he's fit. He can punch a bit because he's training a lot. He can't box. He can't box for toffee. He's rubbish. I've said that before. He's absolutely rubbish. He can't fight. But
you said he's a bully.
You can't beat the clock. He is a bully. You can't beat the clock. Mike Tyson's... listen, I hope Mike Tyson goes in there for 30 seconds, unleashes hell on Jake Paul, and flattens him and does boxing proud. Yeah. But unfortunately, Father Time waits for no man. So I think it's going to be a quite comfortable win for Jake Paul. Keep out of Tyson's way for 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds, if he lasts that long, Tyson. Yeah, not Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson. Yeah. And then he'll just have a go at him and treat him. It's like you've said, he's a bully. It's bad for boxing. There's nothing good about it. What's good about it? All the crowd that watches that sort of tripe, they don't carry on watching professional boxing. They just want to see that idiot in there. I think a lot of people want to see Jake Paul get beat, but
yeah, I'd love to.
He's been dead disrespectful as well in his build-up. He's been biting ears off and trying to mimic Tyson and copy him, and I just don't find it funny. I think the guy's just a prick. Yeah, you know what I mean? And if he had any bollocks about him, he'd fight me, wouldn't he?
I was going to say that.
10 years retired. He called my name ages ago. He called me out. I didn't call him out. I'm also saying I'll fight you now for free because all the nullbeds are saying, "Oh, Froch has spent his money." Yeah, I spent my money. I spent my money on bricks and mortar. I've invested all my money. My money does very well. When I'm snoring at night, I'm earning money because I'm not stupid. Yeah. So to say that I want to fight Jake Paul for money is ridiculous. I don't want paying. I'll fight him for charity. Yeah. And you got me on camera saying I'll fight Jake Paul for charity because I'd love to punch him down. I'd love to punch his teeth down the back of his throat, and that's what would happen. And he knows that's what would happen. And all he wants to do is earn money. Yeah. Because that's what he does. He's a money machine. You've got to admire him for that. He knows how to promote. He knows how to make money. Fair play to him. But all my beef with him is he's not a professional boxer. Yeah. It's not good for boxing.
He hasn't grafted. He hasn't.
And now you're beating up on Mike Tyson, which to me is offensive. Yeah. I don't get offended by much, but that's a 58-year-old icon of the sport. Right. Jumping in with someone who's in his prime, in his peak.
He's a granddad.
It's out of order. Yeah, I don't even know why it's being licensed, to be honest.
Weird one.
I just hope Mike Tyson comes out of it okay.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Potential, like some neurologist has had some kind of opinion on the impact on the brain at that age and the loss, the deprivation of the synovial fluid around your brain capsule and how dangerous it is for somebody old to be getting punched in the head.
Yeah, they're saying it might be head guards. I think they might wear head guards, which, you know, I don't know if both of them are.
Well, actually, head guards make it worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, head guards make head injuries worse. That's why they took head guards from amateur boxing.
Oh,
All head guards are good for is stopping clash of heads and stopping
Yeah.
superficial wounds like cuts, because you can't headbutt someone with a head guard
That's
on.
true, yeah.
But by wearing a head guard, you actually take more repeated punches to the head, because you can take the punch more.
Yes.
So your brain rattles around more than what it would do
Yeah.
if you didn't have the head guard on.
Right.
And that's
so-
from studies from the early 2000s, which is why they then took head guards away from amateur boxing.
See,
Because they found that if you take a punch in the head and it hurts, you'll be rendered unconscious or you'll be wobbled and the ref will stop the fight.
Yeah.
Where if you've got the head guard on, you'll take more punishment.
Right.
And that's why boxers get so much hammer, because they spar with head guards on and they take more punches and spar with bigger gloves on. So they don't get knocked out in sparring very often, but they take loads and loads of punches, which ain't good for you.
No. In American football, they're still wearing helmets and getting,
Well, they've got to wear
injuries,
they've got to wear
injuries.
helmets because they just charge at 100 mile an hour at each other, and they're just machines. I mean, but it's all for our entertainment. And if sport was safe, if sport didn't have any risk element, it wouldn't be exciting.
No,
Football's dangerous, motor racing's dangerous. I know people personally that have lost their life around the Alaman TT, and we watch the sport because it's got that element of danger. That's what makes it exciting.
The risk factor,
and everybody who's in the ring or on the motorbike, they're doing it by their own free will.
Yeah.
They want to do that. So
right,
there's no
no,
wrong with
awesome.
it. You can't start saying you've got to ban things because of it.
No, not at all.
But I just don't think that performing clown should be punching Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
Because he's 58 years old. And I
Legend
don't
of the
think
game.
any state commission should sanction the fight or should license Mike Tyson to have a boxing license. He shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Head guards, bigger gloves. Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm not contradicting what I said about head guards. Head guards means you take more punches.
it's
But
a
if you've got
one-off
big
fight.
gloves and head guards,
Yeah.
you're safer generally. And you can move around a bit and keep yourself out of the way. That's how it should be.
Ryan Garcia, have you been seeing any of his Instagram?
I've seen loads of stuff from Ryan
He's
Garcia.
been crying on Instagram.
Unbelievable.
Speaking a lot of kind of...
What's going on?
slightly
He's been
out
into
there
the
stuff.
woods. He's been made to watch stuff with children. Like,
Yeah,
it just
weird.
sounds sadistic, evil,
Yeah.
twisted. It's stuff I've read before and previous conspiracy theories that have gone around. I mean, are they conspiracy theories or is it the truth that gets branded a conspiracy theory?
Right.
I don't know. I just don't know what's going on.
It is a strange one. I mean, he's been saying people are trying to have him, sectioned or taking his phone away from him and things like that. So who really knows what's going on with him? But is he gonna fight? Surely it's not going to happen.
I don't know. He's in a real tough fight with Devin Haney.
Yeah.
He needs to be concentrating. He needs to be doing his training, his sparring, his running, and all I see him at the minute is on X, on social media, just giving us some mad stuff. He had a phone call with Andrew Tate, and the stuff that he was saying on that was just unbelievable. Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
No, he had a phone call with Andrew Tate saying he was taken into the woods to watch children.
I did see him say that. Yeah.
And I just thought, what is going on? Satanic rituals.
Yeah.
So it's very, very strange, and you do think to yourself, okay, if he's lying or if he's on drugs or it's not truthful, where's he getting this content from? Where's he getting to put it into context in the way he's done it, it's like, why would you make that up?
Yeah, well, it's hard to find a
So
reason.
if it's not true and it's all lies and because he's on the sniff, he's talking rubbish, if that's the case, why is he making that up about children? We've heard it before.
Yeah, we have.
Well, we know, we kind of know, we don't know for a fact because for some reason the blanket ban it from the media. But there's a flight log of people, high profile people, former prime ministers, presidents, people like Bill Gates, and I'll chuck his name in the mix because I'm not a big fan of Bill Gates because he
supposed philanthropist.
Well, he injects people with experimental medication quite a lot, and if you look at the history of what he's done and the fines that he's been because of the injuries that he's caused, I'm just not a fan of Bill Gates. And he's been on that island as well over 20 times. Nobody has been brought to justice. Nobody. And there's flight logs and cameras on the island. So we know something sick and horrible has gone off on that island.
Right.
And nobody's been brought to justice. So what's going on?
Yeah.
Where's this due process? Where's the people getting called in? You've got Russell Brand getting banned. You've got Andrew Tate getting arrested, then released, then arrested again, then gets all his assets back, all his cars and all his houses. So he's not free yet, but he's not been in court.
Yeah.
So listen, we've got a two-tiered policing system and two-tiered government system and legal system which doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because when people of a certain level, and call them elitist, call them what you want, they don't get brought to justice like they should do, like everyone else does. It's an unfair system in my opinion.
Well, we hope that Ryan Garcia is doing all right. And
absolutely, and Ryan Garcia needs to get in the gym and take his training camp very seriously because he's in a serious fight. after the fight, or whatever he's got to say, what he was trying to give us, then go to the police.
Yeah, deal with it after.
Have an interview, give your information down, give us your evidence, give us the proof, or shut your mouth.
Take it from there. Canelo Alvarez has been out of action for a while. He's saying that he wants 150 or 200 million to fight David Benavidez. It's a lot of money. Can you see that happening? Is that just his way of kind of ducking the fight? He doesn't really duck anyone though, Canelo, does he?
Doesn't usually, no. 150 million for that. Yeah. I mean, listen, if the money can be generated by the TV broadcasters, by pay-per-view and ticket sales and sponsorship, then the fighters should be earning the money. But if you go to the point where you're asking for 150 million, unless you've got Saudi Arabia involved, you're probably not going to raise them kind of funds. So if it's unrealistic, which it sounds unrealistic, but then again, what did Mayweather earn to fight Conor McGregor? Mega money.
Big money, yeah.
So I don't know. I can't see Canelo priced himself out of a fight, but sounds like a lot of money for the Benavidez fight.
Huge money, huge money. Mike Tyson called for him to fight David Benavidez, and Canelo said, I'd respect his opinion if he was sober. Why is people taking shots at a legend like Mike Tyson? It's because he smokes a bit of weed or whatever.
Yeah, Mike Tyson said what, sorry?
No, Mike Tyson called for him to fight David Benavidez, Canelo, but Canelo responded by saying I'd listen to him if he was sober. I don't know why he's accusing Mike Tyson of not being sober, but
I don't know, it sounds a bit disrespectful from Canelo, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, really.
You know, Mike Tyson's a retired fighter, icon in the sport. I don't believe he ever failed a drugs test. Canelo has done that. He failed a drugs test. Contaminated meat, apparently, Mexican beef. So whatever you want to call it, or whatever you want to say about Mike Tyson, I just think that, you know, if you live in glass houses, don't throw stones. Yeah. Canelo Alvarez looks like he's priced himself out of the Benavidez fight. I don't think he'd swerve anyone, Canelo. He's a very confident man. Yeah. I can't see him rematching Bivol at any stage soon.
Too big for him, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. But he is what he is. He's another iconic living legend in the sport. I've got nothing but respect for Canelo. But as you know, as we know, we say it how it is.
Yeah, 100%. Any other upcoming fights you want to have a say on or make a prediction about? What have we got coming up?
All I'm looking forward to now is Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk. Yeah. There's not really much that I'm locked in on.
I'm being sceptical as to whether it will happen though, but hopefully now this will be the third date they've agreed on.
Listen, I'm expecting it to happen now. I think Tyson Fury's in the gym. I'm going more into mixed martial arts more than usual. My heart was always being boxing. Because I've got my boxing knowledge, and obviously I've done what I've done, 4-time world champ, Hall of Famer, once boxed in front of 80,000 fans. People, they know who I am. But the UFC 300's happening very soon. I'm going to be looking at that. I've been watching some stuff on YouTube, some of the older fights. Okay. I can't claim to be an expert, I can't claim to know the sport, but they were stood up on the feet. There's two names, I can't even remember the names. They've boxed 2 or 3 times, and one of them fought Conor McGregor.
Oh, Nate Diaz?
No, not Nate Diaz. I know that guy.
The cowboy.
Does it begin with P? It's got dark hair. He was getting right. It was on his back foot. Is it Poirier?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Poirier. Is he fought?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he had a right good fight. Really enjoyed it. Didn't go to the floor much. They stood upright, levering each other. I think it's 5-minute rounds. Yeah. He stopped him in the 4th. So I'm getting into UFC because boxing's doing my head in a minute.
Yeah, fair enough.
You've got all the stuff that's happening in Saudi Arabia and all the money that's getting chucked into it. And then on the lower level, there's not much happening. People are getting left behind, trying to think, I want to get out to Saudi.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Have you been out there? Because you were doing your.
I've been out to Saudi. I was there when AJ had his rematch with Ruiz.
Oh yeah. Right.
Can't say I enjoyed it.
No.
There was nowhere to go. There was nothing to do.
Yeah, I haven't been personally. It's not really high on my list of places.
But it is what it is. It's their culture.
That's where the money is.
But it's not somewhere I'd want to go. I wouldn't even want to go.
What about the atmosphere in the arena itself?
There's no atmosphere.
No,
the atmosphere is stone cold.
Even when AJ dropped.
Ngannou. Nobody got out to see it.
That was it. It's weird to see, isn't it?
Yeah, you could hear a door slam in the background.
Yeah, you could see Tyson Fury sitting ringside, or you could hear him shouting when.
Tyson Fury was thinking, shit, what just happened? He looked worried, didn't he?
He did, yeah, he looked nervous. You could hear him when Joseph Parker was fighting Big Bang Zhang. You could hear him shouting advice to Parker. Yeah. What a performance from Parker, to be fair.
Really good performance. He's had 2 back-to-back. Yeah. Deontay Wilder and now Zhang, and he was under the cosh. He got dropped, did he? Twice. Yeah. Come back, fair play to Parker.
Yeah.
He's right. It just shows you, doesn't it, how fights happen and the whole landscape changes.
Yeah,
you
really.
look at Deontay Wilder now as a finished guy.
That's it.
Look at AJ now as like a front runner for Fury, but we know that Usyk's done him twice. So it's just every fight changes. That's what I'm saying about Tyson Fury. His approach is like late 30s now. Struggles to get the weight off. I think this is going to be the best last we see of Tyson. He's going to have one fight of Usyk, try and win that one, then he'll turn it in.
Yeah, I think he'll
If
fight
he
AJ
loses, who knows?
What's next for AJ right now? Will he wait?
I don't know. He's sitting back, isn't he?
Active,
he's sitting back. He wants to be active.
fought
Hrgovic is good for the IBF, maybe. But I don't think he's going to take on Parker again. I don't know what the interest is, but that would be a decent one, but risky. Yeah. It's tough. He's going to have to sit back and wait now.
Yeah.
But if Tyson Fury's in a close fight of Usyk, whichever way it goes, they've got the rematch clause. But I'm reading that the Saudis want to put AJ Fury on at Wembley Stadium.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I read that last week.
Okay.
I thought, fair play to him.
Yeah, that would be
If they're going to put that on at Wembley, then that's great. But
good for the British
maybe they
boxing
were
fans.
just paying us fans lip service and they've got no intentions of putting it on at Wembley.
Wait and see until
But
next
yeah,
time.
that's the big one I'm waiting for, mate. Just Fury Usyk.
Okay,
It's
well,
going to settle the debate once and for all.
needs to, yeah. It's been a long time coming, but yeah, hopefully we'll see it soon. But all right, let's leave it there until next month. Carl Froch, thank you for your words again.
Always a pleasure.
Interesting.